Alright.
Morning everybody. It's a lovely sunny day today. Crazy busy week. I go to America a week today, so I've got to check lots of paperwork before I go, got loads of editing to get up before I go. Also going to be spending today testing a lot, or all almost, of the Scotty Cameron putters. I love testing putters. So Friday's question was talking about the match play that DJ won over the weekend. That guy is so hot at the minute. And what were your thoughts on that format with that kind of league and then going out into match play? To be honest with you, there didn't seem to be many opinions about it. People seem to want to just talk about match play more than anything else. Good morning, Orla.
Good morning.
Who have we got here? A little Easter penguin.
It's because we're doing like a competition of who's gonna win like eggs.
So the best decorated egg has a hat on and is a penguin.
And there's gonna be 3 winners.
Cool. I'll be complaining if you're not the winner. So with putting being such a massive part of my day today, today's question is name 2 of the most important factors of putting. What do you think are 2 of the most important factors when it comes to being a good putter? Post those comments down below, just down there, hit that thumbs up button if you're liking the daily vlogs. And remember, as always, subscribe to the channel. Click, click, just hit that. Yeah. Click, click. Right, today's swing, got a golfer here. We're going to talk a lot about posture today. If we look at this bottom picture, we see a very rounded back in this area, and then we see also in turn a very limited range of movement. So the rounded back doesn't worry me, it's the limited range of movement that really worries me. So if we look at the top picture, for instance, we see a backswing which is relatively short with the hands and the arms. Shoulders don't seem to want to turn that much either. And he's relatively new to golf, I think. If you look at the bottom action here, strikes a serious issue. That looks like it's coming straight out the neck, going low and out to the right, and again very limited on the follow through. So we're going to talk about his posture. We're going to look a little bit about trying to get him to move his arms around a little bit, and we'll have a little dig at his grip as well, because that looks kind of like he's just landed with his hands on the club, doesn't it? Let's talk a little bit about hold and definitely how you should stand. So let's make sure to start that the club is definitely going through this part of your palm and not in here, which it looks like it is. Then when you're wrapping your hand around, let's get seeing 2 to 3 knuckles. You look very 1 knuckle base. That grip's really going to help us use the face in relationship to the path in a more constructive way as you go on, hopefully having more lessons. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to try and kind of loosen your body up a little bit. So we need to think about posture. The biggest mistake people make often with posture is they try to get it too rigid when trying to get it correct. So when they try to get what they feel is the correct posture, they tend to get very rigid, and then that actually starts to restrict movement. Now you're the other end of this, you're very rounded back and you look almost too relaxed. Well, we need to just shave off some of those angles, but I don't want you to become rigid, because it's that we're trying to get out of your action, that kind of lack of movement. So I want to see you pull your shoulders back. Feel like you're pinching your shoulder blades back together a little bit in the back of your back here, rather than this kind of really hunched back. And then I don't want you to feel like you're sticking your bum out too much. Common idea, that really gets your lower back going the wrong way, which does make you get a little bit rigid. So it's literally about pulling your shoulders back a little bit and then just feeling a little bit more tilt forward from your waist. Simple idea, put the club into your navel and then just try and point that navel down at where the ball would be. Feel that slight tilt with your, kind of from around your belt area, so your pelvis tilts forwards, and then just pull those shoulders back a fraction. That grip in place, that slightly better posture, we can start talking about trying to get your arms to move a little bit more. One more simple posture drill as well is just make sure if you drop your shoulders, club down from your shoulders, they're just slightly ahead of your toes. That's going to come from this better leaning forward from your pelvis. Let's answer your questions.
There's some kangaroos. Got a quick question about swing fault. From what I've learned is the word swing fault doesn't really apply. There's more effective techniques, but it's more so swing options that may or may not fit with the rest of your swing. Sort of, as you look at the world number one at the moment, and he's got some swing faults that if he didn't have in his swing just simply wouldn't work. I've just got another question. Coach out there, Dan Whitaker, who's coaching Rick Shields at the moment, and he very much encourages this sort of finish after he likes to see the handle disappear. The club plays out. As yourself, you see that as a bit of a problem. You don't like to see that. You like to see the club head and handle sort of disappearing at the same time. I was wondering if you could explain that to me. Thanks, bro.
That's two questions. First one, yeah, swing faults is relative to the person, so you can have a fault which makes it harder for you to hit the ball, but that fault might help someone else hit the ball straighter. Your example of DJ is a good one. Having the wrist bowed at the top has always been called a swing fault in kind of old-fashioned money, and he's proving to the world that it's not a fault for him, so maybe it's an option for many other golfers. When you actually start looking at wrist angles, you can see that range of movement is greater than doing it that way, so he's actually using a very skilled idea. Even if it's not a conscious one, the way he's worked it out definitely is making sense. World number one, winning everything. In relationship to Dan's ideas around hands and handle, I don't know what they're working on, him and Rick are working on, so I can't comment on that in particular. But your second question almost contradicts your first question when you think it through. So I see lots of golfers delivering very high handles, which gets this kind of position where hands start going away, club out in front of them. The issue is the high handle, trying to get them to get the club and the hands disappearing further left is an idea of trying to fix that high handle. So it's not, I don't mind if the club is out and the hands are out and the club's in and the hands out. It's more in relationship to what changing that movement might help them fix in the future. You've got someone who, say, has a issue with face the path, so trying to control face the path more in a twisted left of the pathway, then this feeling of holding off on the way through, so hands going more left, club out in front of you, could really help them. Do you see what I mean? So it's more relative to the person. I think it's interesting, if you look at your question again, I think the second one contradicts the first one. You're right on point with the first one, and then the second one, it looks like you're looking for that answer. What that answer is for you, obviously I can't tell you because I haven't seen your swing, so be careful about trying to understand if this is right or this is right. Hopefully in every daily vlog I'm trying to do, I'm trying to stress the importance of swing ideas based around some visuals that we're seeing, so they're not applied to all encompassing. There's some ideas, and there's so many hopefully that I'm putting out there, that you can go to your coach and say, look, I'm thinking about this, is this right or wrong, rather than thinking there is a right or wrong. Time to go and get youngest. The little gymnast has been found. How did the egg do? When do we find out about such egg? You think it's assembly? Yeah. On Wednesday, I've heard.
Yeah, and then
Your one had a hat on. Let's get that body moving. So I want you to get rid of, obviously, the round shoulder here with lots of hinge, so which would look more like for you, so you're kind of going here. I want you to feel like you're turning more on top of the ball, bigger shoulder turn and arms go up in the air. So look, just put your left hand down where the ball, or kind of where your hand would be in setup. And I just want you to turn your shoulders, keeping that hand pointing down where you think it would be at setup, and get that right hand up in air behind you. So feeling like you're almost turning your shoulders 90 degrees to say this 0, while trying to stretch that right arm up in the air. Now you might not be able to get your right arm that far up in the air, subject to how much you can move and those kind of things. Do your best to put it up in the air with that hand still, left hand still pointing down at the ground. This will give you a great feeling of how much you can turn your shoulders and still stay with the ball. Then once you've done this, you could try and put the club up in that right hand, get the feeling of those hands getting up over your right shoulder, left arm travelling further back while turning your shoulders again still over that ball more. We need to get rid of this kind of round shoulder turn to the right, lots of wrist hinge movement, and getting this shoulder turn is going to be the first point to help you do this. Now at the same time, if you can try and keep your lead wrist, your left wrist, relatively flat with your left arm, so get rid of all this extension, it'll be even better for controlling face the path, because we want you to try and get that club up in the air more with that flatter left wrist I want to see, rather than like this massive hinge. So the way you can do that, used to this shoulder turn that you're doing, so left hand stays down at the ground, right arm up in the air, get the feeling of that movement, put it into a swing, try and get the same feeling, left shoulder goes down, right shoulder goes back, arms up in the air, while at the same time always try and feel where the back of your left hand is. the more you can feel that it's turning up to the sky, I think the better chance you've got controlling the face of the path to probably give you a few draws and get rid of that horrible shot off to the right that you probably struggle with even when you do strike it. There we go, thanks for watching. Post those comments down below as always. Reference today's question. Two most important things when it comes to putting. I've got the last practice manual to give away as well. I've got my subscriber list in front of me here and I'm just going to go through and randomly stop. So I'm just going to randomly go through, just moving my thing, and I'm going to stop there and I'm going to move the mouse. Closest one, it's 2. And it is to, there it is, Mike from Louisiana. Mike from Louisiana, you have won the last practice manual. I presume it's going to Louisiana. See you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I'm going swimming tonight with youngest because Mina's got school football, so we're switching roles. Remember, if you're liking the daily vlogs, hit the thumbs up button down there and don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button also. See you all tomorrow.
All right.
You all ready for the big trip starting next week? All out before we're off to that fateful place. Oh, lovely.